Good afternoon. Welcome to my channel. I want to dig right on into the topic dealing with your shadows. This is a big topic for me because it took me a long time in my life for me to, to really see myself for who I am. Because there was a lot of things about myself that I didn't see, I didn't want to see. And I think it came from my religious background. I was a Christian for, I would say, about 20 years of my life, maybe, give or take a few years, okay? And Christianity teaches you that um, if you're angry, if you cuss, if you gossip, all that stuff, those are bad, those are sins. You're supposed to be a good person. Um, you know, if you backslide, or if you sin, you're going to hell. Christianity uses a scare tactic. So that being said, so anything that's quote unquote bad about you, you tend to push it to the side and you say, I'm a good person. So you ride on that, this belief of I'm a good person. But all the bad shit about you is still there. It's still there. But you have blinders on. You don't see it. You don't see it because you know what? I gave my life to Jesus Christ. I am a believer. I believe he died for my sins. I'm going to heaven. So I'm a good person. Okay? I don't do any bad. I'm just going to give it to Jesus and everything is going to be fine and dandy. Well, for me, it created a lot of shadows because I banked on the fact that I was such a good person. That was my shit. I'm a good person. I don't do nothing wrong. I don't talk about people. I don't do this. I don't do that. But I had a lot of passive aggressive behaviors about myself. I had a lot of uh, dysfunctional beliefs about myself that I didn't see, but other people saw, such as not taking responsibility for my actions, not holding myself accountable, lying, you know, because I didn't want to see that part of me. That's just not who I am. Because Christians, we good. I'm going to heaven. So I only saw the good part of me, and I did not know that I had this big ass bag of shadows that I was dragging behind myself that other people could see that I just could not see. And the thing of it is that when you have these shadows, it creates an imbalance within yourself. You're not a balanced person. You're not a whole person. When you understand that devil that you think is out there, when you externalize the devil, you give um you give way to your shadows to take over your life. That's why I see a lot of Christians, they're quick to judge people. I was one of those people too. I was highly judgmental. If you wasn't with my get down, if you was cussing, if you was going to the club, if you was quote unquote keeping it real, I judged you and say, oh, she's sinful, she's going to hell, this, that, and the third. That's how I genuinely believe. That's what I felt. And not understanding that the things that I saw in other people, those were the very things that were in me. I just chose not to see them. So I judged other people for the same shit that I had within me that I never resolved. So you cannot be a fully functioning, healthy human being if you deny any aspect of your being. So what you call bad is not bad. See, let me tell you something. This life is about experiences. Okay. And it's all, you know what, it's two sides of the same coin. And God created all things. All things. You create all things. You create your reality. You create the bad shit that you call bad. You create the good shit you call good. You create those things. Now, the thing of it is that you have to own every single part of who you are. You have to own it. The things that you don't like about yourself, go in and do the work on yourself to change that, to fix that. But really and truly, though, you don't really need to change or fix anything about yourself because you are inherently good. There's a part of you that you don't recognize. It's your higher self. Okay? Your higher self is within you. That is the God self. You just have to take the time to go in and study yourself, learn yourself, and see in all the ways that you have these different dysfunctions and these different fragments of yourself. Because a lot of us, pretty much all of us in our childhood, we've gone through shit. You know, let's say, for instance, you came home and you were excited because you made the A honor roll, not knowing that mom just got fired from her job. Okay? Mom already has mental health issues, but she just got fired from her job. So she's not taking it very well. You know, she's self-loathing, she's angry, she's stressed out. She has all of these emotions going on within her. But your little self comes through the door, Mom, guess what? I made the honor roll. I made the honor roll. And she looks, she's like, oh my God, I don't want to deal with that right now. Go to your room. So your little self, you don't understand that, oh, mom is having a bad day. It's not about me. You take that shit personally. You say, you know what, I'm bad. Something's wrong with me because mom just yelled at me. She doesn't like me right now. I caused mom to be upset with me. Okay? So you take that as your own. And that's how you feel about yourself. You feel that you're flawed. You think that you're bad. You're not bad. It's just that you at such a young age you were not able to um, filter out what was yours and what was not yours. Okay, so you took everything in. You took everything personal. Okay, everything personal. So just say years, years of this, different scenarios, that has formed your personality, that has formed your worldview. So you got years of conditioning, as far as like your religion, um, um, your culture, um, you know, politics, all this kind of stuff. All that shit is just piled on top of the inherent goodness that you are. So, what I mean by there's nothing for you to change, what it does mean is for you to peel back those layers, unlearn all that bad shit. Okay. And as time goes on, you'll start to slowly discover the goodness that you are, the love that's within you, the peace that's within you. But more importantly, you have to discover that you are God in human form, experiencing itself in this lifetime. And when you discover that you are God in human form, experiencing itself, you will soon recognize that I create all of this through my mental, because everything is mental. You soon learn that you create every single thing that happens in your life. Nothing outside of you does this. You do this. Okay? You do this. Nobody makes you mad. Nobody makes you do anything. That's shit that's within yourself that you have not resolved, and now you're triggered. So everything in your reality is on you. It's on you. You are the God of your universe. No one else. Wherever you go, you're there. So when you think that something or someone outside of you are doing, is doing all this shit to you, no one's doing anything to you. It's you taking shit personally because there's deep insecurities within yourself that you have not discovered, and you want to project those insecurities onto the world. So we all have shadows to varying degrees. We're all in this shit together. Nobody escapes this world unblemished. It's just that a lot of people don't want to put in the work, because it is a lot of work to learn who you are, to study who you are, um, to let go of all the shit, man, all the shit, all the limited beliefs that you have about yourself. Falling in love with yourself, recognizing that, you know, you are love, and love is you, and that the way you look, the way you act, all of that shit is you. But taking responsibility for you, and not making your shit somebody else's shit to deal with. Because we all got our own shit to deal with. So that's about being accountable for who you are and just taking responsibility. So a lot of us have bags that we're dragging with shadows and shit, parts of ourselves that we don't want to own. We don't want to look at. Some of us have had some rough childhoods. Some of us have. Some of us been molested. We've been abused physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much shit that we have gone through, and we've brought into our adult life, and we wonder why our lives are not working, because we have unresolved issues that needs our desperate attention. We get into these relationships with people, and in the beginning it's all sweet because we see the shit we want to see, or we have masks on because we want to capture somebody's attention. We want them interested in us, so we wear these masks. So for however long it takes, at some point you can't hold the mask up forever. The mask has to come off, and then voila, now that's where the drama comes in. So now you're looking at this other person like this other person's evil, that they're doing all this shit to you, but really and truly what they're doing, they're triggering you. They're triggering your shadows. And you don't understand that. So you make the issues at hand about the other person, instead of saying, you know what? I have to take responsibility for my part in this. You know? There's two people in this situation. What is it that I'm contributing to this relationship that's causing the demise of the relationship? Because the other person, they can't be 100% to blame for it. This is not about blame. This is about taking ownership of who we are. And once we take ownership of who we are and our shit, then we make a conscious decision to say, you know what? I love myself too damn much to go through this with this person. Because this person has a pattern of disrespect, or not considering me, or not acknowledging the issues within our relationship. They're not there, and that's fine. I'm not going to keep subjecting myself to this relationship, hoping and praying that this person changes. All the while, I'm taking the victim role and saying this person's doing all this shit to me. No, that is an immature way to approach relationships. You have to be honest with yourself and say, you know what, I'm fucked up. I am toxic. I have shit that I have not dealt with. Granted, this person has their own issues, which is not my burden to bear. That's for them to resolve within themselves. Because We are not responsible for other people's shit. We're not. You are only responsible for you, and you have to make a conscious decision on whether you want to tolerate it. You know, you got to get to the point where you accept shit for what it is and change what you can change, because you can't change another person. You can only change yourself. So whatever it is that you can change, which is out of your control, you let that shit go and you keep it moving. But this video went a little bit longer than I wanted it to go, but you kind of get the gist of your shadows. Um, get into yourself, study your patterns, because we all have patterns. We all have unconscious patterns, because when you're not conscious of the shit that you do, guess what? It is a perpetual pattern that keeps happening. It keeps happening because shit don't go away until nothing goes away until it has been learned, or until it's been studied, until it's been made aware of. Like Carl Jung, um, uh, this psychologist, I think it was a psychologist, yeah, Carl Jung, back in the day, he had this saying, making the unconscious conscious. So whatever you are unconscious of, it rules your life. But when you bring awareness to it, it goes away, or you deal with it less. So anyway, I was kind of all over the place with this video today, but I hope that you get the gist of what I'm saying and just really take it to heart. You're all that you have. And when you get to the place of when you really love yourself, you really start to investigate, why do I do the shit that I do? This X, Y, and Z keeps happening to me. Why is that? Because that thing is trying to get your attention. It needs your attention so that it can be healed. Okay? And then once that thing is healed, of course, something else is going to happen. So this whole life is about growing and evolving and healing. That's what this is, until the day we take our last breath. You don't learn a few things and you're like, oh, wow, I made it. There's nothing else for me to learn. Nah, don't work like that. So, but anyway, thank you. I appreciate you. And please subscribe to my channel, God is Keys. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.